Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cosmere Connections. We're a collective of book-loving nerds rereading Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere series. From book 1 to book 16 million, we'll be uncovering every secret connection there is to find. On our show today, we have Swiggity Swoo.
Hey, thanks for having me, and I wanted to remind our listeners to wear their aluminum foil lined hats today, as we don't want any of you to be influenced by emotional allomancers while you're listening to this program.
Smart. John?
So anyway, I start blasting.
Okay.
Hey.
And I'm ReaderWarrior, and today we're going to be covering Mistborn, Shadows of Self, Part 1, Chapters 1 through 4. No fun part name to these ones.
Which is the entirety of part 1 for this
The entirety
book.
of Part 1, yeah. Could have just left it there, but...
It's small. This for a Sanderson book, it's small.
It's little.
Swiggity, I believe you have the first chapter.
Yes, I do, and we're kind of keeping it a little bit more brief this time, so I'm gonna just get right into it. But basically, Winston, innate, is the brother of, was it the governor of Ellendale?
Mhm.
He's waiting for some, how we should say, influential bad actors to show up. And they're here to bid on a painting. Everything's above ground. Just kidding. They're all here to basically bribe him. And he begins talking to some of the people at the auction, including, what's his name, Dowser? Who's...
Yes.
Dowser and Flog, a couple of other people. I can't remember if anybody here is super important to linger on, and if they are, well, maybe we'll touch it on the spoiler section. But long story
Pretty
short,
sure they all die.
The
yeah,
one thing
they all die.
Yeah, I'll get to that. I guess I'm kind of lingering. So yeah, Edwarn Ladrian didn't show up is kind of the only important thing of note. Before you know it, he's in the back room and he hears gunfire, and as you said, everybody dies, including him. His throat is slit, and that's kind of just the prologue to the story.
Prologue 2.0.
I do want to say it does a good job of kind of setting the tone for what kind of tale it's going to be. It's like a bunch of really powerful, influential people doing shady back alley bribery in the government.
Let's see. So there was a fun detail in the last book how they didn't like their politicians being seekers or rioters, but this guy is a rioter, so he immediately kind of fits that evil politician in-world mold that they had sort of described.
Do people know that he's a rioter?
Nope.
I don't think so.
Nope. There was a point in the thing where he had told both sides that they are not each allowed, neither side will be bringing allomancers, but he did not specify that he himself was one.
It was also kind of a thing with the aluminum hats. That's kind of why I brought it up in my intro. Was the aluminum lined hats were literally something people were wearing, despite being told that there were going to be no emotional allomancers at the party.
Mm-hmm. So the guy is rioting his own henchmen with loyalty. That's a little messed up.
I mean, you got to keep the peons in line somehow.
Mm-hmm.
So a little thing I found weird, and this could just be me overthinking it. The guy, he comments on how he has diamond cufflinks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I find it a little bit strange that the Scadrian world, which has a focus on metal, would mine for diamonds.
Well, they do that.
There's
They mine for gems, for all kinds of gems. We saw that in Era 1. Vin had bracelets that were sapphires.
Mhm.
So they dig,
And-
they mine the whole way through.
I don't know what that's from, but stop it.
How do you not know? You could have seen it in theaters.
You call me old?
Yeah.
Just because I could have doesn't mean I did.
You still don't know what I'm referencing.
I do not.
Hi ho.
Oh, Snow
Is
White.
it really from
Snow White.
Snow White?
Yeah, that's how the song, that's how Hi Ho starts, is they're going hi ho and they're in the mine. We dig, and mine the whole way through.
Oh, well, that's...
And then one of them calls out hi ho and then they leave the mine and that's where you get the shot of them all walking out with the pickaxes.
See, I may be old, but I didn't grow up on Disney.
Okay. Anything else for chapter 1 then? Chapter 2? Okay, so please note I'm doing this in a different format and trying to do it from memory. Chapter 2 starts off with Stairs is planning a wedding and she's trying to invite some of Wax's enemies, while Wax is reading the diary journal that Death gave Marasi at the end of the last book, which we will now reveal to be written by the one and only Spook.
Incorrect.
The Lord Mistborn.
The Lord Mistborn. Dun, 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 dun. What do you mean by incorrect?
That's... I don't think that's whose book that is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Are you sure? Because it sounds like it was written by somebody else.
No, it's written
No.
by Spook.
Was it?
Written by
Okay.
Spook.
Yar.
Okay.
So he's reading the journal, she's dealing with the wedding, and she's like, I got a plan for some eventuality, because something's going to happen, and I better know about it ahead of time, because so help me, Wax. And then Wayne kicks down the door and runs in, surprising the doorbell and the butler, because you got to catch them on their toes.
You gotta surprise the doorbell?
Uh-huh.
Yep, clearly.
Okay. I mean, it does sound like a Wayne thing to say.
Uh-huh. And then there's a quick little reference to when Wax is looking at the list Stairs is made to a Rick Stranger, which is a cameo for one of Brandon's friends and alpha readers, Ben Olson. I believe Rick Stranger is one of his D&D characters, is from what little I could come up with. And
That's
so, yep. So Wayne shows up. He's like, Wax, Marksman, who we have been hunting, who is your only lead to the set and your uncle currently. He is out and about. And so Wax is like, okay, puts on his mist coat, buckles his belt with his holsters. And think that they should be doing something, but they do not. And then they run outside.
Yeah, you had a nice little break there.
Oh, where did I cut out?
Wax puts on his mist cloak and
buckles his belt with his holsters, and then he shares a glance with Stairs, and they recognize that maybe they should be saying goodbye or a kiss or something, but no. And Wax. And outside is the biggest pet peeve I've had in the Cosmere. There's a motorcar. I have no qualms with the existence of a motorcar. I have qualms with the fact that it runs on gasoline.
Because it's a fossil fuel and there was...
Exactly. How is there gasoline in this world freshly made by SoS?
In this case, oh god, I can't. It literally was put there by God.
Yeah, that is the simplest hand-wavy explanation that I find ridiculous. I do see that, Sazed/Harmony would do such a thing considering the utopia he made, but I find that a weak answer.
I don't see how it's
Well-
untrue.
I was gonna say, we don't have like the ancient history of Scadrial. There might have been oil under the surface of the crust, just waiting even back in the old days of Scadrial. We just don't know about that. There could have been dinosaurs and ancient forests way back when.
We know
Well,
that preservation
so-
and ruin made the planet
Yeah.
inhuman.
Oh, good point.
Yeah, but those crops, right, the crops, right? So there wasn't a lot of nutrients coming from the sun. It was getting blocked out by the ash. So the crops could hold so much more nutrients. I mean, it even talks about it in Hero of Ages. So maybe that has something to do with it.
It's just a little pet peeve that gasoline exists. And of course, my phone decides to ring right at that.
Maybe it's
exact moment.
biodiesel.
You know what? I think the ring that just went off right now is like really apropos because I was just about to say I think we should just give you this one. I think we should give you a point, dude.
But I just got a text from Saz that he's like, "Yo, chill, move on."
I was like, you know what? Why are we trying to poke holes in this? I think he's just right. We should move on.
It's just a little thing. And so Marasi's at the wheel, and I imagine her with like the goggles and the gloves and the old style of cars.
Bed
Get
knobs and
cool.
broomstick style.
Exactly. Yeah. See, you know bed knobs and broomsticks, but you don't know Snow White.
Lacuna tricoides tricorum satis D.
And that's the
Yeah.
cold open.
That is honestly kind of surprising that you know bed knobs and broomsticks, but not
It's
Snow.
Angela Lansbury. Come on.
Broomsticks is one of the like more minor Disney movies. I rarely meet people who have actually seen
I
it.
love that
It is
movie.
one of my favorite Disney movies, but I rarely meet people who have actually watched it.
Bobbing along, singing a song.
Above the beautiful briny sea. I don't know what to tell you. I am an enigma wrapped in a puzzle, bound by questions. I don't know.
Apparently.
Okay,
And so
moving on.
They get into the motorcar down the city, and they're zigzagging left and right, and they're chasing after this Marksman guy. And Wax basically gets on top of the car, and they do this whole chase sequence, basically, where at one point he jumps into a building and is able to shoot through a wall because he's now using Vindication, and he uses the old haze killer round. And then chases after him, and then he loses his guns, and so Wax picks up these pens and uses those to throw against the ground and steel push on them. And I want to come back to that in a minute. But then, as he's chasing after him, because they're heading towards the slums, and they'll never find him if they get in there, because those are all people who back him up. And it's also revealed the main reason he's hunting him down is not because, he's the Robin Hood, but it's because he killed a child. And the guy's like, well, it's not my fault. I wasn't aiming at her, even though it should be gun rule number 1. You pull the trigger, you accept the consequence.
Well, gun rule number 1 is you don't put your finger on the trigger if you're not ready to kill somebody.
Exact. Also that. And so he's chasing after him right about and then he sees something out in the corner of his eye. Bloody Tan. The man that he shot in the head like 6 times, I'm willing to bet, after he killed Lassie. Lessie. Which one is it? Lessie. Lessie.
He's not a Scotsman.
I don't. Me being in the UK has changed me too much. And so he stumbles and falls and hits dirt, but Bloody Tan is nowhere to be around, and Wax just thinks, okay, I'm losing it. Time to hunt down Marksman again. End of chapter.
One thing that I did want to say, I thought it wasn't necessarily that Marks had killed someone that he was hunting him down. It's because Marks's name was on the list, the pocketbook that he stole from Uncle.
Yes, that
And
was
that
the
is why
priority
he
reason.
is. That is why he is hunting him down. It is in addition to the fact that he also accidentally killed a child.
Wax
So
is
two little things.
straight as an arrow
Sorry.
as a character. Just like I was thinking about that today. He is always he's a very like iconic character. Him and Wayne.
He's the what is the word? Not archetype. The
Stereotype?
Stereotype?
no, what is it when a character has like one main
Stat?
thing? Paragon. Paragon. He's like the paragon of justice.
Right.
Sure.
So two little things. One is Marksman is wearing this mask and he calls it a demon from the deepness. We now have demon lore on Scadrial. That's always fun.
Well, we've kind of always had demon-esque lore because they always kind of the demon from the deepness is the mist wraiths from the mist. That's kind of where that comes from, isn't it?
It's definitely going to be a band in Era 3.
Because the deepness is the mists. So that's what I thought of it as. Was like this is just an iteration of the mist wraith mythology that has kind of expanded more.
I was just more so stuck on the actual word demon. That's fresh in the Scadrian mythos.
That makes sense, though,
And then the other,
that a demon from the deepness would be a mist wraith.
yeah. And the other thing was at one point he gets like pens with like metal tips. And he throws them and he uses them push. So and those have got to be fragile, right? So if you have a coin shot that is using that as an anchor point and it breaks it, does that become different anchor points then?
Presumably.
Okay. It's just I don't think we've ever seen a steel push anchor point coin shot thing like break before.
It's
I feel like we
Granted, every other time is pretty much coins and bullets. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking of something else.
that's all I got for chapter 2.
all right then. Shall we move on to chapter 3? All right. Let's make this quick. So we find Wayne working on an accent that he's getting from some poor folk and tricking them into sharing where Marks is. Wayne finds him, knocks him out, and brings him back to Wax and Marasi, who is busy getting sassed by some very inappropriate children. They briefly sass one another. This is Wax and Marasi. Before they explain to Marasi how Wayne managed to get the information and, do his thing. While they're in the process of doing the explaining, they are attacked by a sharpshooter with a crossbow, which Wayne notes as being only useful for hunting mistings. And the W's chase after the assassin, but the assassin doubles back around and tries to take Marasi hostage. She then does him the courtesy of blowing his head off through his chin.
Yeah.
The end.
That was intense.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of action, a lot of pew pew leap dash, but well, it was also a lot of really inappropriate commentary from really underaged characters. But
It's just that kid from Back to the Future 3.
Kid from Back to the Future 3.
Oh my gosh.
It's the worst of the 3 movies. I have seen it. It's just I can't drudge up that particular bit.
We'll show you it later.
It's okay. We don't need to.
Wax has wooden knuckles, basically. He calls them wooden knuckle bones, but they're basically wood knuckles. That's cool.
Like instead of brass knuckles.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
made out of wood.
And then just the scene where he starts his bubble, jumps through the window, punches the guy, throws him out. It's just like, imagine seeing this from that other guy's point of view.
Oh my god.
From the other people in the room where you're talking to this guy and then suddenly like
He's
just
gone.
unconscious.
and then he's just gone and you're like where did he go?
Is the window broken?
What just happened?
Yeah, this book is pretty cool. It's like just these ridiculous action scenes.
And then that poor kid who Wayne just accidentally looks like the entire chapter.
Yeah, because he gonna get a talking to.
Yeah. Oedip's son. That's what it is. Poor Oedip's son is going to be like, what were you doing there? You threatened to snitch on Marksman. He's like, I wasn't doing anything. So, I got three things. So first of all, you have the one scene where Wax like throws up the coin and pushes on it till it disappears. I kind of wish in the movie version there's like a little bit where like after all this he sort of walks back over or holds out his palm and knows exactly where it's going to land and catches it.
Wait,
I just think that would be a fun.
Which part of the chapter is this? I don't remember.
So
when they're
the
talking
kids are
to-
harassing Marasi, she tries to bribe them, and they're like, "Oh, stories are expensive. You're gonna need more than that." And Wax comes over. Wax comes over, and he's like, "How about this?" And he takes out a coin, and he just pushes it off with his allomancy to scare the kids.
Oh yeah. So you're saying later on he knows exactly where it's gonna land?
Yeah, exactly. Just show how smart he is that he could keep track of how strong the push was, where the coin is, and what the angle would be.
And he just picks it up.
Yeah,
That would be awesome.
I think that would be cool.
And he just does it while he's talking about something else. It's like, eagle-eyed viewers notice, like, oh, he's going to pick up the coin he pushed away.
Yeah. Or maybe it's the end shot when they're about to leave. You just see the coin hit where they leave, like right next to the corpse.
Oh, were you saying he catches it from the sky?
I was thinking he would, but like it could just be like, tink, tink, tink. And then the coin is like a transition into when they're checking out the auction house. I don't know.
That would be real cool. This is one of the more cinematic, books in the Cosmere for sure. Like everything is totally written like a movie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this one perfectly visualized everything so far.
Mhm.
Loving this. And then I feel like Marasi could have literally shot the guy anywhere. She did not necessarily. I'm not saying if you're not fearing for your life, don't go for the kill. But I feel like Marasi, the smart person, might think to shoot him in the foot or between the legs or somewhere else before going through the skull, considering this is a tie to the set.
If you're in a hostage situation and you are the hostage, you end the situation if you can. I think that's just because let's say she shoots him in the foot. What says that he doesn't just take her down with him when he goes down and now she's still caught? And I mean, yeah, the guy's going to be in excruciating pain or whatever, but
all she's done is pissed him off.
exactly.
I'm not trying to imply in an actual hostage situation you should try to do this. I'm saying somebody who has experience and can, figure out what they're doing and know what they're doing I would have thought Marasi would be on that level.
I think the whole point is that she's not really. Wax even says earlier that her role is as an investigator and an analyst, not a beat cop.
Yeah.
Totally. She's in such an uncomfortable
I think-
position right now. Like, she's got to live up to
Yeah.
these two dudes.
I think it's a
And no doubt she's got skills, right? She's like
right.
been training for
It's
this
a
her whole
testament
life.
to her level-headedness that she's able to think so calmly about, well, shoot, blam, like, because she's very nonchalant about it.
Yeah. And afterwards, so in my chapter, she's essentially like, why? She's like, why is it always me? But do I just? she's like,
Why
this
am
is-
I always the one covered in
Why
blood?
am I always the one that is targeted for hostage? Third time this has happened.
And Wax is like, I mean,
Well,
it's
exactly
your
that. It's her
words, not
third time. You
mine.
think like, but that's my chapter 3 last note. Is I think Marasi would have been able to shoot anywhere else, and they would have gotten somebody to question. Granted, on the other hand, this could be just a simple hitman they hired and has no real ties to the set, so it might not have done them any good. Period.
Yeah.
Well, like it's totally fitting. Like, you know, she like I was saying, she is kind of trying to live up to all these preconceived notions about a lot of different stuff. Like, not only has she got like the imposter syndrome of being with Wax and Wayne and, you know, living that legend right now, there's also just kind of a sense of her being at that age where she's having to use all her skills for the first time, and like no matter where you are, that's gonna be rough. And like, you know, she's pulling it together and stuff, but like to be in danger and to be like putting ourselves in these situations. So we'll see how that plays out in your chapter, Kay.
I definitely feel like Marasi is trying to prove herself. She's definitely got a grudge against Wax that we can see in
She's-
these 2 chapters.
Jilted lover, or not
Yeah,
lover.
kind of.
Not even
Also,
that.
it doesn't help that
She is just very she wants to prove that she is useful, and she is very mad that Wax does not see that she can be useful to him, like that she is helpful.
it definitely doesn't help that you have the bloody tan sighting, and Wax is immediately not as happy as he was at the beginning.
Immediately in a state of shock.
Yeah. Yep.
Everybody's
Okay,
unfulfilled.
chapter 4.
Chapter 4. So Marasi, after she, discharges the pistol next to her head, she can't really hear very well, but Reddy and the other couples show up, partially because of the fact that Wax was getting marked, but also Reddy has come to collect up because the Constable General Aradel, something has happened. And they want him to come and help out. And that's kind of all the information that they're given at this point. And we find out that Marasi is working under the Constable General. And so she kind of bullies her way into coming along, even though Captain Reddy is very much like does not want her to come along. You can tell there's some kind of beef there. Reddy doesn't really like Marasi. We don't really know why exactly, but we can kind of tell that he doesn't really like her. So they go and they go to the site of from chapter 1. So we are now seeing the aftermath of it. So they get there and Ardell, they talk to him about what's going on. Wax is looking around the room. he kind of walks around, paces off where the different people to look to see how the people are killed. And he comes to the realization that this wasn't like a hit against these people. It was definitely where the people were all shooting at each other. It wasn't someone coming in from the outside. Everyone, like someone started shooting at the center of the group, and then everyone started attacking each other. Essentially, how everyone got. And there were a couple people that got knifed in the back as well. As this is going on, Marasi makes a note, and she's like, "Yeah, this is really bad because all of these people were high up in the criminal underground, and it's like, I think she says it's like a third of the criminal underground, like elite people that were killed in this, which is going to create a power vacuum, which is not a good thing to have happen." So then they go downstairs to go see where Winston Sting was killed, and they see the guards standing outside. All of them have shot in the back of the head, and Wax very quickly realizes that, oh, this was a Steelrunner. This was a ferrochemist who can store speed, who killed all of these guards from behind. It has to be a ferrochemist who did this, because there's no other way. For the way that they fell, they all got shot in the back of the head, one right after the other, before a single one of them turned around. Also, what's interesting is they go into the safe room. They see that Winston has had his throat cut open, and he also makes a note that it's very clear that that whoever it was that killed Winston, and probably killed the guards as well, was someone that Winston knew and trusted, and that it was not someone that he had no connection with.
Winston didn't kill
because
himself.
he had to. He had to have let them in the room. He let them into the safe room. So, and Wax is, because there's a metal board, Wax is also thinking that his uncle might be involved as well. That's kind of where we end the chapter.
Nice.
I like Marasi.
Back to the beginning.
Wax always thinks his uncle's involved if there's a metalborn committing a crime.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very Vin-like.
Oh yeah, totally. Where she thinks everybody's a Mistborn.
Yep.
Yep.
I did kind of like it mentioned, like in my chapter I mentioned it, I think, but like this estate looks over the garden, which is like the original garden where they found the bodies of Vin and Ellen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Valley of Rebirth.
Yeah.
And the fact that he doesn't believe that is super weird to me.
It's funny.
But there was a mention about Lassie again and how she never wore a dress, except for one time they went up to Covingtar to see the Pathian Gardens. First of all, Pathian Gardens sound cool. And this is the second reference we've had to Covingtar. When Wayne was dressed up as Abragain back in the last book, the old lady, he commented that his grandson had a bride in Covingtar. Small. Nothing really special. And then I'll say that for the spoiler. There's also a another line from Spook's journal that is quickly referenced before they head out. That I would quickly try to find the line. It can make anyone into an Allomancer, you see. If we don't use it, someone else will. Referring to an ancient power that can make normal get superpowers. Imagine what that could do in the wrong hands. Hemalurgy.
Can I have some of that?
Yeah.
The Allomancy.
Only other thing is, yeah. Only other thing, I got two things. One, Steelrunner is awesome. That is probably my favorite attribute I've seen from a Ferring. And then the other one is the fact that he also had his tongue cut out.
Oh yeah, forgot to mention that. Yes, he had his throat slit and his cut out.
I forgot about that.
That's all I got.
Very symbolic, all these powerful people murdered so that, I don't know. We don't really know why, or obviously we don't know why, but like they're already talking about like, oh, we had a case on all these people, but we could never get them because
A list, you might say.
right. And if they were able to put them on trial, they could lead to getting more people, and that's obviously not going to happen now, which is like very relevant to where we are now. But
I mean, if we want to do it by like Sherlock terms, this is the Robert Downey Sherlock movie, the first one. This is that whole part where they're catching the dark guy. Was his last name Dark?
I don't know.
I don't remember. Whatever the guy was with the fang tooth. And this is all of that, setting up the actual mystery to be solved in later parts.
I was gonna do a cyberpunk Mistborn serial killer, but I'll settle for a steampunk ferrochemist political assassin.
Anything else? Okie dokie. Well, next time we'll be covering the first 4 chapters of part 2, so chapters 5, 6, 7, 8. But for now, it is time to head into the spoiler realm. If you have not finished this book, the entire series, or potentially the entire Cosmere, I would recommend you stop here because it's likely we will talk about everything and anything. If you are caught up, feel free to stick around because it is likely we will bring up details you may have missed or plot threads still yet to come. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, star, heart, or whatever it is on this podcast, and don't be afraid to comment your own thoughts and predictions. We would love to hear from you. But at this Swear part, my name is ReaderWarrior, and I have been joined by SwiggitySwoo.
As always, the aluminum really does help, guys, because they'll get you.
John.
Hey.
And Kay.
Have a good one.
And don't forget, there's always another connection. Bye. And we're back. Spoilers. Yes.
Spoiler time.
So chapter 1.
Oh yeah, the main thing.
is that Dowser's +1 is Bleeder, and then Flawed is Bleeder.
Yep.
Oh, and Replar's brother, the governor, also Bleeder. But we don't know that for a good while.
Also definitely corrupt.
There's a character named Darm, and apparently that's also the name of a cleaning lady in the
Yes.
Which is not really a Cosmere connection, but I wonder why he likes that name so much.
It's a Sanderson connection.
I think was that the name that's also in Steelheart or something?
Is there a connection?
One of the names I looked up I had to look it up on the Coppermine, and it was like, oh, this person's in the Reckoners series, and then it was like, do you mean this person from the from Shadows of Self? And I'm like, yeah, that one.
Yeah, looks like Dowser is maybe the one.
It might be Dowser.
For the device in the Reckoners series used to detect epics, see Dowser. Dowser.
That's it.
Wait, no, that's like a term.
I don't know.
I haven't read the Reckoners. Have you guys?
That's all I got.
Yeah, I have.
Yes.
Sorry.
That was technically the first Sanderson book I read.
What
But it
was
was
Steelheart?
before I even knew it was Brandon Sanderson. I had read Steelheart first, and then somebody got me into Mistborn, and it was only, I think, when I got to the third one that I read, oh, this is Brandon Sanderson.
This is that same guy. Holy God.
Mistborn was my first Sanderson book, which is probably not unusual.
No, it's not. Alcatraz was my first Sanderson book.
Hoyd's storybook.
That's because I was a child.
I think that's all we got in chapter 1, is just those 3 people or will be Bleeder.
Mhm.
And I believe that Dowser's +1, that's her using the
The ferrochemist.
terrace.
Oh,
Yeah,
I've
the
got a
terrace body, and that's why
I've got a
comment on the
question.
height, I thought. Yes.
Do you guys think Ed Warren knew what was going to happen? Is that why
Yes.
he didn't go?
I think that might be partially that he knew something was going to happen.
And
I think that's the only way it makes sense, but I can't remember a specific time where there was a correlation between Bleeder and
So
Ed Warren.
Bleeder, the spikes that Bleeder is using, doesn't Bleeder use
You're right.
trillium spikes?
Yep.
One
There's your
trouble.
connect.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. So Bleeder is connected to Trell.
Or at least one trillium
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Because
And
that'll be
then-
something that'll get us up for a bit. So I'm going to save that little thing for last.
it's all
Ed Warren
right
is also
here.
connected to
That's
Trell.
you know, that's kind of crazy.
The Steelrunner bit's at the end. We're saving the whole Condra steel running thing for the end. Chapter 2. Spook. Yes, it's Spook. It's not Kelsier. There is they reference Father Bin. That's the priest that gets nailed to the. And then they also
That's
reference
funny.
Ape
That's not funny, but-
Manton.
Good call.
And then they also reference Ape Manton, who is the guy in Bands of Mourning that they try to set up as a distraction in the one series with the reverse gold symbol. The guy who hates Alamancers or something. I don't remember the specific detail. But that's the same guy who they try to send on a wild goose chase. And Bloody Tan, also Bleeder.
Yes. So many bleeders.
Their section. Bleeder.
Yeah, we definitely need a bleeder counter.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I will start that in the
Counters section.
Yes.
In our counters. With our counters.
leaders. So we got Lessie. We've got Dowser's +1.
We haven't seen Lessie yet. Lessie has not appeared on
The prologue.
Oh,
The
yeah.
prologue.
Fair. Yeah.
Also, Allo of Law. And then
Yeah. Point
I will not
reader.
include Replar yet because he has not been on screen. And then Flog. Got D10. There we go. That's all I got for chapter 2.
Sure. I mean, there's not too much, right? It,
Mhm.
Nope.
Yeah.
Pretty much just
is there
the
more
chase.
of a
The hunt.
story behind Marks than just this?
There was not. When I searched it, I will double check real quick.
I think it's just that he was in.
He was a bank robber with ties to the set.
Yeah.
He grew up in a slum known as the Breakouts. He came in contact with Ed Warren. Nope, that's pretty much it. The main request is an increasingly aggravated populace in the city of Ellendale. That is something I was going to bring up in chapter 3. Was the disparity and how it's rising.
Yeah.
It is also possible one of the motivations for the Marksman's robberies was to keep Wax distracted from the set's true goals. And Bleeder wore one of Marksman's masks. That's
Later
about
on.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the blurb at the beginning of the epigraph. So, I figure I should write one of these things, the small book read, to tell my side, not the side the historians will tell for me. I doubt they'll get it right. I don't know that I'd like them to, anyhow. It's just kind of like calling out his own hypocrisy and willingness to tell things through his own lens.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
And then, like, hemalurgy is good now. Ruin isn't around anymore and says it is both sides.
Right.
Those are the-
I don't know. There's something about like Lord Mistborn and Spook and on that whole era and us not knowing about it. That's always been kind of weird to me.
Yeah. Secret History 2 is hopefully going to either have a focus on that or on the Southern Scadrians.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's also the funny bit where Wayne and Stairs are like, hello, crazy. Hello, idiot.
Yeah. I love Stairs.
Yeah.
This is when we're starting to see Stairs' personality coming out.
It's okay. Chapter 3. Main focus on the disparity between the slums and the poor people and the nobility. That's all I got for the Wayne POV.
Yeah.
And then the
Yeah,
Marasi.
there's a lot on that with the slums. But
Yep.
it's very sad there.
Especially because there was a line like, "Oh, Lord Mistborn Spook tried his darndest to make it so there wouldn't be any of that in Ellendale."
Mhm.
There's always going to be that in a capitalistic state.
Right. It is. I do want to say it is good to see more of Steris. Like she spent the whole first book being kidnapped, pretty much.
Mhm.
And then also we're like, yeah, we're getting to see more of Wayne too. There's something crazy about Wayne. Like his chapters are really polarizing, right? People
Yeah.
love him or hate him.
He's
Oh.
Kaladin would call him a likable bastard.
Just like the Lopen.
Well put.
I really like that we're sort of getting it hops around, so we are getting, hey, these are the three main characters. It's not just Wax and others, so we're getting those other viewpoints. Granted, the main one's Wax, and then the other ones get their own separates.
But again, it's like, you have this world, like, not too much time has been spent on the world building. It's such like character building, It's awesome.
Okay. And then I got nothing for the Marasi point of view.
I felt she was very nonchalant about the whole thing. Like, she was just like, well, crap. Like,
I did like that.
so used to it.
That's what I really found it funny. And I do believe, like, if you try to threaten somebody else's life, your life is now forfeit. The king cannot expect the pawn to sacrifice itself if the king is not willing to die. But like Marasi's done this, like how many times she couldn't like shoot him in the hand or something. I reckon I don't want to be shot in the hand.
Well, and it's such a growth Marasi in the last book where she had never shot anyone. Like she knew how to shoot the rifle, but during that last like battle, like she was actually like, oh god, like I've never done this before. This is like kind of crazy. And now she just like very like oh yeah, like I'm just gonna discharge this gun right next to my head. Like
I got nothing else. Chapter 4. Chapter 4. So general broad Cosmere question. Do we think that general medicine is different in the Cosmere than in the real world? Because Wax is like, oh, you might have hearing loss because of a gunshot in your ear. But we know that invested people, which is everybody in the Cosmere minus those freaks on Alpha, they all have like inherent healing ability, a little bit extra durability, and something. So do you think if you were to compare like a health textbook, there would be some differences?
First of all, drabs are people too.
yeah.
I couldn't remember the word.
That was good.
I think that there might like they're probably like in Silver Lake. I would guess there is some kind of like for doctors like, okay, so if you have this many breath equivalency, like this is where like would fall healing like scale, like health scale kind of stuff.
It was just the shot in the ear, and Wax is like, oh, you might get permanent ear damage for that. And I'm like, I figure an average, Earth human would, but I don't know if a Scadrian would.
Because they're
maybe, I don't know.
I don't.
They would the Scadrians don't inherently, even though they are invested, like do have investiture to some extent, like the investiture to heal are like gold Ferring.
Yeah, but we also know that the natural investiture of all living things means like, oh, you never get sick. That's why you never see a sick character in the Cosmere, except for that weird thing that happened in the Stormlight.
No. You need to have to hold a certain amount of investiture to not get sick.
I could have sworn there was a comment that anybody invested has like a greater resilience to sickness.
They do in the more, but you need
You've
to be
gotta
actively holding the investiture.
Yeah, you have to have significant amounts more, not just like a little bit more. It's like upwards of I would say probably like, I don't know. They don't really give a hard number that I'm aware of, but I would say probably almost enough to reach like the first heightening equivalent.
No, it's more than that.
Is it more than that?
It's more than that because I think it's like the
Okay, it was a
third.
fun, more goofy question. I didn't mean for us to. Oh, Aradel is a descendant of Goradel.
Okay.
The Goradel is that guy that Vin talks to in the Final Empire and convinces to let her go through.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep, the one who gets absolutely wrecked by Marsh.
That's cool.
Yep.
But
So at some point, he had a child before that point.
So it's not until once you get to the beginning, you have agelessness,
The fifth
which is
item.
where your body essentially stops decaying over time, and you don't get sick anymore because your body is continually like healing itself if you have enough
I just sworn that's like a natural thing because
VEUs.
there was a whole one in
Like,
the
yes,
Stormlight Archive where
but like in the Stormlight, as an example,
dang it, we're back on
when
Stormlight Archive.
when we see characters go out, Shalon, for example, go out, she can get drunk. And it isn't until she takes in Stormlight and is actively holding Stormlight that alcohol, that poison. So it's similar to like being sick, where it's like you can get sick, like we Shalon has a hangover. Like she like we see her have hangover in the Cosmere. And like body like has has a normal reaction, and then once she takes in light, it heals her. But she needs to be holding that investiture in order for it to heal her. And the amount of it that she holds that changes how fast or slow you heal.
Yes.
Okay, I could have sworn there was something about. I'll need to go on the Arcanum. Okay, but it's fine. And then why is Reddy such a jerk? Just because she took a potential promotion?
Oh yeah, she took the she took the job that he was. That's why he doesn't. I don't know. That's really weird.
Wasn't somebody replaced with a Khandra in the last book? One of the police.
Oh, the previous constable general.
Yeah.
But
was replaced with Tensoon. Tensoon took over the previous constable general and then had him retire.
okay, so he retired.
After he promoted Wax, he then retired. Him retire and go away.
Retired.
And then
Permanently retired.
And now there's just a dog living in his house, suspiciously.
Something like this.
There's a brief line about Marasi having a hidden file in her desk. I don't remember what that's about.
Oh, that's the information that she's been gathering from the governor.
Okay.
Because
yeah.
technically they are not
supposed to,
be investigating the governor, but she has been.
So a
Wow.
lowly public service agent investigating the leader of their political system.
Which, upon thinking about this, I'm now curious because in our society, a governor is the leader of a state, not a city. So
I just
is
feel
there, like,
Yeah, but there's
I
only
think
like
it's just
one city. Like
yeah.
it's
no, there are many that have been mentioned.
Well, there's the one main city. There are
But-
tiny little towns.
but it's like the basic
Well-
created by like God city. It's a little bit of a
I think it
different
more so
setup.
just has to do with. Sorry.
That's it.
I just think it has to do with you don't want to reuse the word president, and so in any other fiction or sci-fi or any other book,
Well, it
they
would be
try
a
to
mayor.
do a different word for it. But he's trying to showcase this is not like the mayor of this. This is the leader of their civilization. They make the rule for Ellendale and the Roughs, even though the Roughs don't listen. This is meant to be the top of the government. And mayor doesn't exactly have that weight because you could be the mayor of one of those towns in the Roughs.
I guess.
I wonder if those towns
I
like
just
in Bilming, do they have like a mayor or a governor?
I'll check Bilming real quick. I would think a mayor. Because every like old western town has a mayor. They have a sheriff.
well, what
they have
about
a
that
mayor.
other city that they go to in
Bill-
the one that's really vertical with all the waterfalls?
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called. Geography, history, presence, culture, politics. Bilming has a local government consisting of a mayor and a council. There you go. That's what I got for burn. I don't remember what that one in Bands of Morning. Please do not send this to the actual Bands of Morning. Yep, it sends me to the actual bands.
It's let me look at.
Could be on the back of the book, Kay.
I was just gonna look at the map.
Yeah, that would be incredibly smart.
Weather.
That's what K is for.
They go to
Weathering?
is it New Saran?
Yes, New
New
Saran.
Saran. Mhm.
I thought New
Mhm.
Saran was. Guess
In
you're right.
Bands of Morning. Go to New Saran.
There's
Yeah.
nothing about politics about it.
Weathering is the town that Wax is staying in when he's staying in the Roughs.
Yeah. All right. The mansion is owned by Kalisha Shores, though Hoyt also claims ownership. What? Okay, we're getting off track. Hidden file, Steelrunners. That's going to be awesome. Now let's get into good long argument. Is how the heck does Bleeder do this? So with one spike, she's able to take a metal ability and use it, which we see later. Like she likes doing coin shots, and that's perfectly fine. But how does she have to have that spike and then have a metal mind to do the speed?
Yes. Yes, she has to have a metal mind still. The spike just allows her to access the power. Like the ability to use it. But she can use I think she can use the metal minds of the person that she took the powers from.
That's
So
what I was
she
just
didn't-
going to say.
Yeah, so she didn't necessarily have to store. She didn't have to store up speed
Okay.
that she was using.
I guess that makes a little bit more sense. And it's just weird that Trillium, allows you to take any elementic ability and then give it to a conjurer, and then they can use it.
You know,
Is that the
that
implication?
always kind of seemed strange to me too. Like, but I don't know. I mean, we don't know what any of the other god metals do. What does Trellium do if you burn it? Like, who knows?
Makes you really
Era
sick
3
about that.
chart, Era 3 chart, Era 3 chart. Yep, elementic use unknown. Ferrochemical use unknown. Hemalurgic, it can grant elementic and ferrochemical abilities to conjure. Presumably that of atium. It also keeps the user hidden from harmony. We haven't touched on that. Do we think that's because it's just another god's metal, or is it just that it's a singular spike?
No, we know it's another god's metal because Bleeder uses more than one spike and says it still can't see her. That's the problem. That's the whole problem.
But she only ever uses one spike at one time. She never has two in her.
She
Correct.
has to have two because
No.
it takes two to make a blessing.
But that's so
She has one.
she's kind of crazy. That's why
She's
she's going kind of crazy, is because she's been living with only one spike. Like, so her mind isn't like all the way there.
But she's also under the control.
Yeah, if she has two spikes in her, then she would be under the control. Then Sazed would be able to control. But if she only has one, he cannot control.
Interesting, like, to think of if she had one, say, you know, if there was one spike from like harmony and one spike from Trillium, how that would work.
See, that's what I was
Well,
thinking was
that's
going on.
that's
But
what it is at the end.
Yeah,
That's
that's why
essentially what
harmony
happens.
takes control.
Yeah, that's how he's able to take control at the end, is that Wax shoots his Pathian earring into her.
Okay.
right.
But I'm wondering
So-
if
That-
harmony has two. I'm wondering if harmony has two access points. One is hemalurgy is my art, because I've got the ruin shard, but also, you're also using my metal stuff. So I'm wondering if those are two different things. Maybe.
They
So
are
he
two
has.
different things.
I know, but I'm wondering if Bleeder has two different, so has two Trellium spikes.
She would
At that
have
part.
two hemalurgic spikes in her, and he would to take control.
Yes, but he would only be getting that from the hemalurgic side, while she having one of Trellium spikes versus one of his spikes, he has it through that other way.
No, because he can only control through hemalurgy.
Okay.
Hemalurgy is the only way that he exert control over someone.
But I'm wondering if it's through the
'Cause
art or through his metals. Okay, where's that one
It's-
chapter?
I'm fairly
I think it's part of the art because that's
Yeah.
how Rune was doing it back when it was 80.
And that's not something that's specific to Sazed. Sanderson has stated this. Like, other gods could also exert control. Because with hemalurgy, what you're doing is you're essentially ripping open your spirit web.
Mhm.
So others could also take control.
It was largely the art.
So it's the art.
Not.
There is a specific line when Wax is talking to somebody. He's like, "Oh, what if a conjurer only has one spike in?" And somebody says, "Insanity."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what's going on with her.
Yeah.
It do be like that.
Here we go. Cognition. 2 specs are required for the conjurer to be able to think, but she is going around with only 1, which means insanity, Harmony said. But something is wrong beyond that. She can hide from me because, yeah. Okay. And then I think I'll wait to bring up the other Trellium ability when we get to it. I have for this chapter set.
Yeah.
I think that was
Anybody
fairly comprehensive. There wasn't a whole lot of real meat to dig into as far as the greater Cosmere in this set. So
Despite me trying.
I don't know. I think he did a pretty good job dredging stuff up and making it work.
I try.
Yeah.
Yep. Okie dokie then. Well, that's just going to about cover it for this episode. Thank you so much for joining us in our ramblings and predictions. This has been Cosmere Connections, and we hope you'll tune in next time.
You want to
Bye.
buy Doritos.
Uh-oh.
You want to
Bye.
buy